My name is Emily Dickinson, and I was born in Amherst, Massachusetts. My name is Nathaniel Hawthorne, and I was born in Salem, Massachusetts. My name is Margaret Fuller, and I was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Yay! We were all born in the same state of Massachusetts. Emily Dickinson. Okay, let me tell you a little something about myself. I am one of the greatest poets from the literary period of the American Renaissance. I believe that my poems gave people the excitement of possibilities and to believe in the good of man. My writing was based on transcendentalism, beginning in the 1820s. A new intellectual movement known as transcendentalism began to grow in the Northeast. It was meant to go beyond the ordinary sensory world, to grasp personal insights and gain appreciation of a deeper reality. The belief is that all people could attain an understanding of the world that surpassed rational sensory experience. I greatly impacted the American Renaissance. I use imagery, wisdom, and questioning of life's meanings to create a mark on American literature. The subjects I wrote on varied from nature to religion. Many of my late poems involved the difficulty and necessity of faith. In one of my poems, Because I Could Not Stop for Death, the ideas of romanticism are quite evident. I shall now read the first stanza for you. I hope you enjoy it. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held, but just ourselves and immortality. The subject of human mortality is present in my poem, and the question of what lies beyond death is discussed. Thank you. Thank you for listening to my little skit. Now let me introduce Mr. Nathaniel Hawthorne. Hello there. Hello. I'm back again. Okay, well done, Emily. Well done, Emily. Now, allow me to enlighten you and Margaret on my life. But first, a quote by me, Nathaniel Hawthorne. No man, for any considerable period, can wear one face to himself and another to the multitude without finally getting bewildered as to which may be true. As I wrote that, lots of thoughts went through my head. I hope you enjoy that quote as much as I enjoyed writing it. I am one of the most prominent authors to emerge from the American Renaissance literature period. I was born 3 generations later from the ancestors of mine that were involved in the Salem witch trials. I have to say, I try to distance myself, and my writings were filled with atonement and guilt and sin. I even went to so far as to put the W into my name Hawthorne to keep my distance. Now, let's discuss my book, my very famous book, The Scarlet Letter. So, my book, The Scarlet Letter, takes a personal and in depth look into human morality and guilt and protection and the importance of shielding the individual from the sometimes harsh external world that exists. The Scarlet Letter is full of embellishment, of stylistic elements. It showcases elements of Gothic and religious themes that pertain to human sinfulness and no distinct separation between good and bad, rather, a vagueness about moral judgment. I use my writings to express tales of suffering, internal struggle, hypocrisy, and frailty. I wanted my readers to see how frail humans can be. I believe that beneath all of the societal influences in a person's life, there could be found the truth of the human heart. And through symbolism and intense character development, I aim to shine through to my readers that inner heart that I was trying to speak about. Some of my works, which if you're not familiar with them, which you should be, are Young Goodman Brown, The Great Stone Face, The Minister's Black Veil, of course, The Scarlet Letter, The Marble Fawn, and a very engaging children's book called The Tanglewood Tale. Now, just allow me to tell you how politics affected the writings of the Renaissance period, which I was involved in the Renaissance period. Okay, so it was because of the lofty ideals of democracy. It asserted the value of individuals, regardless of class and education. Of course, these values primarily apply to white males. I am a white male, so it applied to me. In fact, to let you know, the tensions were building so much in the political world that it just begged and cried out for a creative release. And that is where we as writers came in to give that release, including you ladies. I thank you. I thank you very much for your time and for listening to me. I bid you well. Goodbye. Oh, hello there again. I know I said I was leaving, but I just could not leave without sharing one more quote of mine with you. I know you would enjoy this one. Okay, here we go. Happiness is as a butterfly, which when pursued is always beyond our grasp, but which, if you will, sit down quietly, may alight upon you. How did you like that? Okay, no need for the applause. I just have one last one so I can introduce my dear friend Margaret. Okay. Do you know what? I actually think this one may be for Margaret. Margaret, I shall say this one for you. A pure hand needs no glove to cover it. Interpret that how you wish. Okay, now I bring to you Margaret Fuller. Hi, thank you very much. Thank you, Nathaniel. Okay, please move a little faster. You've taken up a lot of time. Please, move a little faster. Oh, goodness. Okay, go. Hello there. And finally, after Mr. Hawthorne has spoken greatly for a very long time, I'm here. I do thank Emily Dickinson and I do thank Mr. Hawthorne for their insightful words on how our writings had affected the Renaissance period. As you know, literature was a very big deal. We were coming into our own time, trying to break away from the British writing so we could have our own style. And this allowed us which was influenced by Transcendentalism. It influenced us to try to show how nature was beautiful and how it was in everything. Now, I am going to tell you a little about myself. Okay, so before I go into it, let's follow in Mr. Hawthorne's footsteps with a quote. But I think mine's much better. A house is no home unless it contain food and fire for the mind as well for the body. Mr. Hawthorne, I hope you heard that part about fire for the mind as well as for the body. Okay, so my name is Margaret Fuller, and I was one of the first members of the Transcendental Club, founded in the year 1836. My writings were associated with this movement. My writings, I'm proud to say, even influenced the great Susan B. Anthony that brought about voting for women. She was one of the suffrage campaigners, and I was very proud to know, looking down, that she used and was influenced by my writings. The American Renaissance was significant because it was the first time in history that American writers, we were considered equal or even better than European writers. At that time, when we were there, America was a young country, very young, with no real literary talent as yet, or accomplishments to speak of yet. Now, I have some friends that shared my views as well. Mr. Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau. My friend Ralph Waldo Emerson actually spearheaded the Transcendentalism movement. Okay, the reason for this movement is very simple, according to his words. So, the stern dogmas of Calvinism had been replaced by the rationalistic Unitarianism and Deism. However, they were so rational and so determined to avoid the emotional excesses of the Great Awakening that they seemed dry and cold, unable to satisfy deep spiritual yearnings that people like myself have. People such as Emerson also were looking for new spiritual roots, something more meaningful, more personally involved, but not traditional. Now, this is how the Transcendentalism movement came about, which greatly affected our Renaissance period and our writings. And this is how religion influenced the writings. Okay, so now a little tidbit about myself. Because I was a woman, because I am a woman, oops, sorry, I could not attend Harvard. Well, now things are different, because it was a male-only institution. However, I was granted use of the library. In 1840, I became the editor of The Dial, which was a Transcendentalism journal. My book, Women in the 19th Century, was 1845. It examined the place of women within society. I was very pro, I don't want to say the word feminism, but I do try to put women in a positive light. So, my professed purpose was to systematize thought. More generally, I attempted to enrich the lives of women and to dignify the place in society. My writings influenced this period in giving women a deeper look at themselves. I would personally like to think that. I thank you for your time. Let me just get my colleagues out here. Nathaniel, please come on. Emily, please join me. Okay. We all thank you very much for your time. We do hope you continue reading our writings. I hope you continue reading my writing. I hope you continue reading my work. We were very happy to do the skit. We hope you've enlightened a little bit more of how it influenced the movement. And we thank you. We would like to sing, but we're a little off key, but we will try. Okay, we are the riders of the Romantis period. Okay, no, never mind. Thank you. Goodbye.